The movie begins with a promise of a medical breakthrough that could change humanity forever, though nobody is foolish enough to venture where the answers lie. Set 5 years after the events of Dominion, the world is still struggling with the chaos unleashed by the dinosaurs. The few surviving creatures have been pushed back into dense jungles near the equator, where 3 extraordinary species remain hidden, carrying DNA that may hold the secret to a miracle drug capable of saving millions or ending them. That's where Zora Bennett enters the picture, a skilled undercover operative hired to lead a team into uncharted territory. Her mission: secure genetic material from these colossal beasts. But the journey doesn't stay under control for long. The team is thrown onto a dangerous island brimming with prehistoric predators, forgotten ruins, and a laboratory concealing horrifying secrets. 17 years earlier, a helicopter descended onto a jungle-covered island where scientists were experimenting with hybrid dinosaurs. Inside frozen chambers, the body of a massive creature was preserved. While specialists carried out routine procedures, a small piece of debris jammed a hatch, sparking a containment failure. Alarms blared, doors refused to shut, and in the chaos, doctors inside the chamber were trapped and killed by the very hybrid monster they had engineered. Time passed, and the walls once covered in dinosaur exhibits decayed, fading into forgotten relics. The world beyond still felt their presence. In Europe, news stations reported that the last Brachiosaurus alive had escaped, blocking entire highways in its path. At this moment, Martin Krebs, a representative from Parker Genix Pharmaceuticals, approached Zora with a dangerous proposition. He explained that the company aimed to capture samples from 3 particular species: the Mosasaurus of the oceans, the Titanosaur of the land, and the Quetzalcoatlus of the skies. Each of these giants, with their extraordinary lifespans and massive hearts, carried biological secrets that could revolutionize heart disease treatments. Though Zora initially dismissed the idea, Krebs made her pause with the mention of $10 million, a fortune she couldn't ignore. Tempted by the money and a chance at a secure future, she reluctantly agreed to join. Krebs then introduced Zora to Dr. Henry Loomis, an aging scientist who once thrived during the golden age of dinosaurs but now struggled with failing attendance at his exhibitions. Convincing Henry was no easy task. He argued that the mission was illegal and unethical, but Krebs pressed hard, mocking his declining career and suggesting that if he turned away, he would be nothing more than a washed-up zoo enthusiast. With his pride wounded and hope stirred by the promise of scientific discovery, Henry finally joined the team. Their journey soon took them to Suriname, where Zora and Krebs recruited Duncan, a boat captain hesitant to put his livelihood at risk. Duncan had doubts, especially since he still owed money on his vessel, but after some persuasion and a doubled offer, he agreed. Along with Bobby Atwater, their security man, the group prepared to hunt for their first target, the Mosasaurus. Henry created special darts designed to collect blood, though they would only work if fired within 10 meters of the creature. Meanwhile, a parallel story unfolded at sea, where Ruben sailed with his daughters, Teresa and Isabella, and Teresa's boyfriend Javier. Family tensions simmered as Ruben longed to keep them close, but their arguments were interrupted by a shocking sight: massive dinosaurs circling their yacht. The attack was swift and terrifying, with the Mosasaurus breaching the waves and threatening to sink them. Somehow, the family survived the first encounter, though fear had firmly set in. Back on the mission, Zora guided her team as they intercepted a distress signal from Ruben's family. Though they were on the brink of capturing the Mosasaurus, Zora insisted on checking it out, despite Krebs's protests. When they reached the family, Zora listened to their story while Krebs urged everyone to press on. Soon, the Mosasaurus revealed itself again, forcing the group into a high-stakes hunt. Zora's precision paid off when she struck the beast with her dart, filling a vial with its blood. While they celebrated, Henry confided in Zora that the drug their company sought to create would never reach ordinary people. It would be too expensive, reserved for the privileged few. His words unsettled her, though she brushed him off. Moments later, predators drawn to the Mosasaurus attacked the team. Bobby's bravery cost him his life as he tried to fend them off. The survivors steered the boat toward rocky shallows, but the chaos forced everyone to abandon ship. Duncan crashed with the vessel, while the rest swam to shore. There, Krebs revealed disturbing truths. The island was infested with genetically altered dinosaurs, mutations designed to thrill park visitors. Some had been abandoned when they proved too unstable, but each was worth millions. Zora then revealed her own hidden plan: if they failed to return, a helicopter would circle the island after 2 days, giving them a slim chance of rescue. The mission transformed into a desperate fight for survival. As the team ventured inland, Teresa accused Krebs of trying to harm her during the chaos, though he denied it. The family, meanwhile, formed bonds with a tiny mutated dinosaur Isabella named Dolores, though danger was never far away. When Teresa discovered what she thought was a boat, her hopes were crushed to find it was only a wreck. An attempt to inflate a raft alerted a sleeping T-Rex, which pursued them relentlessly. At one point, Reuben believed his youngest daughter had been eaten, only to find her alive and hiding under debris. Their narrow escape came at the cost of their fragile trust in each other's decisions. Elsewhere, Zora and Henry climbed into a cliffside nest where they hoped to collect DNA from Quetzalcoatlus eggs. Though they succeeded, disaster struck when the creatures returned, killing one of their companions and nearly taking Henry's life. Injured but alive, Henry was pulled to safety, and the group kept the precious sample. The survivors reunited with Reuben's family near an abandoned dam facility. Tempers flared when Krebs, desperate to protect his prize, pulled a gun on them. Suddenly, the complex lit up as an old generator activated, drawing mutated dinosaurs straight to their location. The group scattered, hiding in supermarkets, labs, and underground tunnels. Zora and Krebs found themselves trapped beneath a vehicle, forced to shoot wildly at one of the monsters. Isabella and Dolores crossed paths with another mutant, which only retreated after seeing its own reflection. In the chaos, Henry and Duncan uncovered tunnels leading directly to the ocean. They realized this was their only way out. Krebs, however, betrayed the group, stealing the samples and fleeing in a vehicle. His arrogance was short-lived when the colossal mutant that had destroyed their helicopter earlier crushed his car and swallowed him whole. Zora recovered the samples from the wreckage, determined not to let his sacrifice or his greed be the final word. The climax unfolded with Duncan's heroic act. As the group raced toward the waiting boat, the giant mutant pursued them. When Isabella froze in terror, Duncan lit a flare and dove into the sea, drawing the beast away. Believing him lost, the others mourned as they sped off. Yet hope returned when a flare appeared on the horizon. Duncan had survived after all. They pulled him aboard, exhausted but alive, and to their surprise, Dolores had stowed away, joining them in their escape. On the boat, Henry reminded Zora that the samples were now her responsibility. She had to choose whether they would fuel profit or serve humanity. After everything they had endured, Zora finally declared that the discovery should be used for the good of the world. Money, she realized, meant little compared to survival, sacrifice, and the chance to protect future generations. As dolphins leapt beside their vessel, the survivors shared a fragile but genuine sense of hope, leaving behind an island filled with nightmares, secrets, and roaring reminders of the past. And that's how the movie comes to an end. We'll meet again in the next story. Always stay happy and keep smiling. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share it with your friends too.